Most times in this your journey of mastery, fulfillment, discovery, and destiny, most of the times, silence is golden. Very, very golden. It's better you're silent sometimes, and become unpredictable than to open up your mouth very wide and lose respect, self esteem, and become so predictable that you're no more valued. You see, most times, those who know how to master the art of silence, sometimes they win. They win, they dominate, they overcome. But those who open up their mouths wide at times, sometimes, oh goodness gracious, they throw away every respect they ever supposed to have. Sometimes it's good to be silent and let people keep people guessing, keep people predicting, keep people tensed, keep people curious, than to just open your mouth all the time. There are people who come into a room and they're just quiet. They leave everyone to do the talking and they win. The moment they walk in and they're silent, they win. And by the time they leave everyone to talk, when everyone finishes talking and they open their mouth once, they have completely taken over. There are people who just, have you seen people like that? You get into a conversation with them and they take over the whole conversation. They keep yattering and yattering and yattering. You never allowed to say anything. And at the end, having spoken for minutes, hours and hours, they end up saying nothing. I found out that in life, those who are even silent sometimes are even the intelligent ones. Those who talk a lot sometimes have nothing to offer. Sometimes you can win over in a relationship, in an acquaintance, in anywhere, just by keeping silent. And sometimes allowing your opponent second guess what you're trying to do, what you have in mind. There are times you defeat without even talking. There are times people challenge you and you just stare at them and walk away. You've completely disarmed them than opening your mouth and talking and at the end having nothing to offer at all. Something funny happened some time ago. I was commuting in a bus. And all these conductors, front seat your money, everybody your money, your money. And there was this guy behind and he paid without talking. Now the problem now became for the conductor to give him his change. The conductor gave every other person his change and this guy behind kept asking politely, conductor, my change. Conductor, let me use our balance. Conductor, my change. The conductor kept snubbing him. At a point, the conductor even insulted him. Conductor, my change. Now we were getting to our destination, and he kept asking for his change politely. And the conductor turned back and snapped at him. No, you there this motor. No, you there inside this motor. Blah, blah, blah. Meaning, are you the only one in this vehicle? Why all the shouting? Why all that? The guy said, look, we're getting to the park. I need my change. When you asked me for my money, I didn't delay. Now, when it comes to my change, you're delayed. Well, you know how these people can be very rude and very, very brutal at times. He continued that way. The guy said, if I come down from this vehicle, you'll be very sorry. The conductor and the driver, trust them. At that point, they kept insulting this chap, insulting this fellow. Well, to cut a long story short, when we eventually, I deliberately stayed back, followed them to the terminal because I wanted to see how this was going to end. Guess what happened? When this guy came down from the bus, oh goodness gracious, the look of this guy was terrible. He looked meaner than the conductor, the driver, and all other conductors combined. His size was something else, his build was something else, and his clothing, he didn't look like someone to be there. He didn't do anything. He just came down from the vehicle quietly, warmed his hands, rubbed his palms together like this, walked to the license plate in front, stared at the license plate, looked at the driver, stared at the conductor, and walked away. Without talking. I'll never forget that incident. The next thing that came out from the driver's mouth was, chase him, we're in trouble, Poshiamo, this person will not talk, Poshiamo. The driver and the conductor chased this guy, knelt down, and handed over his change to him. Now, what was the issue there? He didn't talk. No one knew what he had in mind. Someone just stares at your license plate and walks away like that without saying anything. Come on. Sometimes silence is golden. Don't be predictable all the time. Sometimes leave your opponents guessing. Sometimes when you walk into a place, don't just show off. Decide quiet sometimes and allow every other person mess up. So that when you open your mouth finally, the world knows that someone has spoken. There are people that their voices are so strong, but not so loud. They don't waste their strength and their energy talking. Sometimes silence is golden. Sometimes you dominate by silence. So please, in this journey, it's not every time you must respond. It's not everything you must respond to. It's not every time you must talk. It's not every time people want you to be here. Sometimes allow others to make noise so that when you make the sound, the difference will be clear. King's Logic. Normal man, trying to give someone out there reason to stay alive and a purpose for living. Wait, please go to my YouTube channel, Kingsley Oji TV, OJI, and subscribe to encourage me. And you'll see tons and tons of inspirational and motivational videos. Please share this video if it has been a blessing to you. Thank you.